It is 8:13. Welcome back. First it was eggs. Now it's beef that is busting everyone's budget. The cost of ground beef and steak has increased by 10 and 12% just in June. The average cost for ground beef is more than $6 a pound now.
Now, to
I think
help
we're
us
at record
understand
levels.
why and if there's a relief in the near future, this is Jacob Schmidt from the Utah Beef Council. You're our beef expert.
Yeah, well, let's talk about it. I know beef is, you just mentioned eggs. Those are still up 27% from a year ago. So there's a lot of other foods that are increasing in cost. We're about 3% higher for most foods. The consumer price index is 2.7% higher. So we are feeling it all across the board, and beef is part of that, as you mentioned.
Well, we know that with eggs it was the avian flu,
Yes.
and it was a few other things. What is it for beef? Why is the price
so
going up?
really, the herd size is historically small, and then demand is historically high. So people are still demanding and wanting, fresh beef, and there's just not as much as there used to be. The herd size is smaller, and
Why is that?
Well, there's been drought, and that's really affected the herd size. So nationally, it grows and shrinks based upon a lot of different factors, but it really just boils down to the fact that it's the smallest it's ever been due to drought and those other factors. So when there's drought, there's less feed. So if they've got less grass to feed, then you have to go and get feed somewhere else. So input costs have gone up. Ranchers are paying higher input costs across the board, vet bills, feed, all those kinds of things. So that all plays into it. And we're seeing just a little bit higher prices of beef.
Are some of them getting out of the business because it's such a struggle?
Some do, but just usually they just adjust their herd size. So if you can't afford to grow your herd size, you try and maintain it, and then just try and keep in. So yeah, some do get out, some stay in, but it's notoriously a very difficult business. And so,
are we going to see larger herds down the road, or
that's anybody's guess.
Yeah.
If weather cooperates and if the market's such that cattlemen and ranchers they definitely will increase herd size with demand that's still there. Fresh beef sales from a year ago are still up 6%. So people are still wanting high quality beef.
Sure.
They're including it for protein. They're including it for meal planning, all those great things that we love beef for. But it's just going to cost us a little bit more due to those reasons.
Well, how are our Utah farmers doing? Our Utah beef farmers?
They're similar as nationally.
Okay.
Most of them are cow-calf, so they've got a cow herd and they raise a set of calves each year,
right.
And then those will get shipped off. So it's tough.
Yeah.
So it's tough for everybody.
Yeah. What about tariffs and disease for imported cattle?
That's not going to affect it too much, really. We do import a little bit of beef and whatnot, but price-wise, it should be okay.
What about grain and food for the cattle? Is any
so
of that imported?
We grow a lot of it here,
okay.
In the United States. So, but just that is increasing as well, and
right.
So those all play into it. But you can find some great, more economical cuts. You can buy in bulk. You can do all kinds of things to try and shave off a little bit of that grocery bill when you're purchasing beef.
What are some of the smart things we can do?
Yeah.
I mean, specifically, what do
Sure.
we need to do to
So,
save a little money or get affordable cuts?
Yeah, so there are different cuts that you can buy. If you're going for premium, those are always going to be more expensive, from the rib and the loin, some of those tenderloin, those. But if you want to go and find something from the round or something else in the cooking method, you can change. Also, buying in bulk and cutting up the steaks yourself is a great way to save a few dollars per pound. It's so versatile. It's so easy to find some of those things. Look for those sales that you're looking for. Those sales, buy them, freeze and save it when you can get a better deal on it.
I know David Osmond was saying that they buy, what, is it half a cow? Can you still do that?
You can. You can go find a local sourced beef here at the Utah Beef Council website at utahbeef.org. There's a local beef directory, so oftentimes you can find better deals. You'll pay a little bit less, and you can go straight to the rancher. And you can also go to beefit'swhatsfordinner.com and find some great beef budget recipes and steak and roast swaps. So if you're looking for something that's a little more expensive or cheaper, there's some great swaps that you can make and just change it up a little bit. Still have that great eating experience, but just maybe pay a little bit less.
For example, what's one of the swaps?
So if you were saying, hey, let's celebrate, Ron's got this great celebration happening, right? He wants some tenderloin.
His birthday is coming up.
His birthday, yeah. He feels like maybe that's just a little bit too expensive. Just ratchet that down by a New York strip or even a top sirloin filet. You'll pay a little less, still have a great eating experience. But there are a lot of those different switches and swaps that you can make. Still have the same kind of feel, but maybe not pay that premium price.
Yeah, or just maybe cut down on your appetite a little bit, right?
Smaller
because
portion.
I buy those thin cut like sirloins, and they cook pretty fast. But you can get those for $4 or $5 for two.
Satisfies you. You can also include beef as a recipe ingredient with other ingredients, mixed dishes, those different things that you can do. Make sure beef is great because it's so versatile. With if you've got leftovers, if you do have leftovers, you can always repurpose into other things that really just stretches your budget. And we usually don't have leftovers when we're having the beef, but when we do, we always eat it up on something else.
Right.
So it's great that way.
Now you have done some of these recipes with Chef Brian. You've been coming on in the kitchen on the Noon Show for years.
For years, yeah.
And you've shared some of those techniques,
Absolutely.
the swapping and the recipes that will stretch how much beef you use.
Yes.
Save a
So,
little money.
check out the website, go to beefitswhatsfordinner.com and get a lot of great beef budget ideas, lots of budget-friendly recipes for your family, and, tighten up the budget.
I didn't
a
realize
little.
you had all that on your website, so that's cool.
Yeah, we got to get you on there, Ron.
Yeah, well, in fact, I will check it out for sure. All right, so what are you having for dinner tonight?
Probably...
Chicken.
No. Eggs. I think we've got a ground beef meal on tap. So.
Good, a nice fresh
There we go,
ground beef like this.
Ron's killing himself.
You never do eat chicken, I'm sure.
Hey, we had a poll on our website. We just put this poll up yesterday about how much people are spending on beef. And here's a look at folks who have weighed in. Do you trust that? Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. Okay, that's public money profits. No, but we asked,
we
are
don't
you spending
use public money to buy
Are you
our
buying
beef.
more beef? Are you buying less beef? Are you buying about the same or not at all? And that we had that poll up on the website. But we wanted to see what people were weighing in.
That'd be interesting because across America, in the United States, it's 14% higher. So
People
for
are buying
ground
more.
beef, more ground beef than last
People are
year.
buying
I think
14%
that's
more?
like
14%
That's like-
more.
As far as the prices go now, I think it's at a record level, right? Has it ever been this high?
Ground beef, it's around the pandemic. It was up around the pandemic when the supply lines were kind of getting tightened up, and we had a lot of supply chain issues. I think ground beef was up around $7-8 a pound sometimes. So
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
The man with the answer to where's the beef?
yeah, where's the beef? We have these ebbs and flows with everything.
Yep,
Same
we
thing
do.
with
Yep,
for sure.
beef, I guess. But
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Yeah.
you bet.
And
Beef,
we'll-
it's what's for dinner.
That's right.
.com. And
And UtahBeef.org.
UtahBeef.org.
all right, great resource.
Yeah.